From Timothée Chalamet's unruly hair to Rebecca Ferguson being ignored by her co-stars.
I know!
And to Dave Bautista stealing everyone's hearts on the set.
Dave is so sweet.
He's a big bear. He's lovely.
Let's have fun with the cast of Dune and see what they think about one particular trend connected to the film.
I'm not gonna stick my hand in there. Like, I'm good. I'll starve.
As though adapting the cult classic to the big screen wasn't hard enough, there was another challenge the director Denis Villeneuve faced on the set of Dune. It was working with Timothée Chalamet's hair.
Because it's alive. And I had to direct Timothy, and I had to direct his haircut.
And it's impossible to say which one was harder. But in fact, working with Timothy was a blast for everyone, because the young man is basically like a walking jukebox.
Anybody who knows this man knows that he travels with sound. There's always some kind of music.
Thanks to him, the Dune set was full of jams and dances. Timothy's co-stars didn't mind that at all. He and Zendaya even arranged dressing room dance parties.
I had a dance moment with Zendaya and Timothy and some other people in his trailer.
But it turns out that not everyone was invited.
That's not bad.
I'd like to have one of those in my lifetime.
Brolin was certainly offended.
And he was only there for 10 days. I was there for 4 months. And I never got that prize.
The actress who understands Josh's feelings of missing out is Rebecca Ferguson.
It's not that they don't let you in, they just don't let you in.
The actress tried to fit in with her co-stars multiple times, but somehow failed. Especially with a particular pair of actors.
And I don't feel like mentioning names, but when Oscar Isaac and Josh Brolin did this,
Yes.
it made me feel this big.
Eventually, Rebecca found a way to bond with her castmates. She used a simple yet effective method.
And I created a group chat, and now we send family pictures. High five!
Genius. Moving on to another star of the movie, Zendaya landed the role of Shani thanks to her determination and love for the source material.
When I first heard that he was making this, and I watched this version, and I was like, oh, that's the character they're trying to cast. Okay, wait a minute. Hey!
The actress immediately started asking everyone involved if she could play the part, but it was too early to decide.
Because it was before they even started doing auditions or anything, but I was like, just
Well done.
put my name out there.
She had to wait for a little while, and eventually the role was hers.
And I auditioned and did my chemistry read, and yeah.
Sealed the deal.
Sealed the deal.
Her involvement in the project was part of the reason why Florence Pugh wanted to join the cast too.
I've been dying to meet her for so long.
The actresses have known each other for a while, but never met in person.
I'd say like a year and a half, we were each other's hype women on
Yeah.
Instagram. Like,
Yes!
if anyone posted anything, we'd be like, you look amazing.
But playing Princess Irulan wasn't easy for Florence, and the hardest scene was her reading the diary.
I was dead terrified about that.
Sounds simple, but it was her first day of filming in Dune. And it's also the first scene of the film, so Florence felt a huge amount of responsibility.
I was like, wow, this is intense, knowing that this is going to be opening the movie.
But the scene turned out great. Interestingly, even working with the Hollywood icon didn't intimidate her as much.
It was like a, by the way, your dad is Christopher Walken. I was like, oh, well, thank God.
All because she found a way to connect with him.
We were just talking about donuts.
Yeah, you heard that right.
On the final week that I was working, we were doing this massive ensemble scene where in between takes, Christopher Walken and I would be talking about which donuts we wanted to eat.
And now when Florence watches this scene, all she can think about is donuts. At the same time, Zendaya felt differently about meeting Walken.
I was generally too nervous to talk to him. I was like,
Yeah.
hi, sir. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
But now she knows what she had to talk to him about.
I could have said, what kind of donuts do you like?
Yeah,
Now, I know that.
Better late than never, right?
Moving on.
Anyway, we have to admit that Dune's casting was on point. Sadly, not all actors we've seen in part 1 can make it into part 2. Duncan Idaho, for example, dies in the first film, just like he does in the book's first half. But we'll forever remember Jason Momoa's performance as the legendary warrior. Denis Villeneuve knew from the start that no one could play him better. The actor didn't even have to audition. The Dune director called Jason while he was atop a mountain filming for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. At first, the actor was sure that it was a joke because the whole thing looked too improbable.
I've never been chosen for anything, especially to be, he's wanted to do it his whole life.
But he still rushed down the mountain to talk to Denis on FaceTime. And the rest is history. Needless to say, Jason enjoyed his time on the set, and his kids became fans of the universe after seeing their dad in the film.
It's their favorite movie. So now they're 100% love Dune.
All spectacular fights aside, it's awesome to see him as someone with the coolest name ever.
That's kind of the best name, Duncan Idaho.
You think that's the best?
Josh Brolin can tell you why it seems to be so good.
It sounds like a joke, and it's not. And then you see Momoa, and you think he's a joke, but he's not.
Wait a minute, why on earth would he say that Jason was a joke?
Because I think he's silly.
Okay, Josh. And here's what he thinks about another big guy from the movie, Dave Bautista, aka Beast Rabban.
But he's such a softie. It's like the biggest softie ever.
That's why in real life, they have a very sweet relationship and wouldn't be involved in any sort of battle.
No, I would never want to fight him. He's one of those guys that you just want to, cuddle up with and...
And Josh isn't the only one who thinks so.
Dave is so sweet.
He's a big bear. He's lovely.
Although he is a completely different person IRL, Bautista is perfect for his role in Dune. And he knew about it even before Denis Villeneuve. The two of them have been friends since working together on Blade Runner 2049. But Dave was too shy to ask Denis to give him the role.
I never reached out because I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to, hey, Denis is our part, and
Denis eventually realized everything himself and approached Bautista with an offer.
Then she just straight out just asked me if I would come and play this part. And I was so taken aback, I didn't even know what to say, except for obviously, yes.
Absolutely.
Another Harkonnen is also much sweeter in real life. We're talking about Austin Butler, who often confused his co-stars on the set.
And it was funny because then you would say cut and you'd be like, hey, how you doing? And I'd be like, oh, he's so nice.
Part of the reason he was so intimidating was the absence of any hair.
It was so liberating not having eyebrows. You don't realize how much they weigh you down.
Can imagine that. Now, let's talk about one of the most memorable scenes with him, where Feyd-Rautha licks a knife before a fight. Funnily enough, Austin can't recall the origins of this part.
I just don't remember where that idea came from.
He just does it all the time.
Well, that might be the answer.
Yeah, testing the sharpness of knives is my tongue.
Yeah, no big deal. And now, let's discuss the thing that we can't avoid. The Dune popcorn bucket from that viral SNL sketch. You're probably wondering what the actors think about it, so here you go. Josh doesn't want to even touch it.
I'm not going to stick my hand in there. I'm good. I'll starve.
Although he can't argue that it's a genius marketing strategy.
We're talking about it, and that's all that matters.
That's right. Zendaya also didn't want to take anything out of this weird bucket.
I'm good. I'm okay.
Not only because it's kinda gross, it's also not very functional,
But just from a purely like eating popcorn standpoint, it's you can't get anything out of it.
But Timothy didn't care. And Florence had her way of describing it.
It's not okay.
While Rebecca was the only cast member who didn't understand what the trend even meant.
I'm not sure what's going on, what it is.
Yet as soon as she got it.
Oh. Interesting, how sensual.
And what do you think about the Dune popcorn bucket trend? Even more importantly, what do you think about the movie? Share in the comments below. And then watch our other videos about your favorite films.